Hey, good morning, Attack the Rack fans. And welcome back to the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. This is our Monday morning live show. We go live every Monday morning at 7 a.m., recapping the weekend in sports. Also, keep in mind, this does upload as a regular video at the completion of the live stream, and then you can watch it at any time. A couple other things going on with the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. Don't forget, every Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Thursday night, we have about a half an hour, 40-minute show, the Attack the Rack daily lineup, where we talk about the latest 3 to 5 topics in the world of sports. That's with myself, Big Mo, and Trent. And then coming sometime later in the week, we've got a fantasy football preview coming with our Attack the Rack fantasy football guru, Mr. Corey Walters. So we're going to do a fantasy football preview. We're going to break down the 4 kind of main positions: quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, and tight ends. And we'll be releasing those 4 separate days, 4 separate videos, hopefully starting at the end of this week. So that will be something to look forward to. And also in the world of the NFL, coming this fall, coming right away, week 1, we will have our, once again, we did it last year, NFL Picks show with Peter Hunsberger and Chad Zagar. Each week they go head-to-head, picking 3 NFL games each. And also we have Pete putting on his prop bet Pete hat and giving us 3 prop bets each week. So that's some stuff coming up with the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. And then also, don't forget, every Saturday morning, 9 a.m., myself and Big Mo have the Attack the Rack podcast. So that kind of sums up the latest and greatest with the Attack the Rack YouTube channel. Let's get into some sports stuff that happened over the weekend. Yesterday, the U.S. women's basketball team played their last pool play game, defeating Germany. Germany 87 to 68. Got off to a little bit of a rough start, and then they put the foot to the gas and cruised the rest of the way. Jackie Young led the team with 19 points off the bench. Pretty balanced scoring for the U.S. women's team yesterday. Again, they finished pool play at 3-0. Certainly the heavy favorite to go on and win gold. Quarterfinals are next, semifinals, and then if they make it, or they win their semifinal game, then they will be playing for the gold medal. Those games are Wednesday quarterfinals, Friday semifinals, and Sunday will be the gold medal game and the bronze medal game. Also, one thing to note too, with that victory yesterday, the U.S. women's basketball team has now won 58 straight games in Olympic play. So you figure 3 pool play games each year, and then a quarterfinal, semifinal, final, 6 games. So 6 games a year, almost 10 years without losing a game in Olympic play. That's pretty impressive for them. The men, they played on Saturday, also finished up group play with a win over Puerto Rico. They won by about 20. Not a too challenging game for them. Anthony Edwards. And I'm not saying Anthony Edwards hasn't played well. He just hasn't really gotten into a groove. I think it's hard to get into a groove when you're not playing a ton of minutes. You're playing with 11 other superstars. But he really did stand out on Saturday, scoring 26 points on 11 for 15 shooting. Pretty incredible for him. Certainly one of the young stars in the NBA. So, yeah, 26 points for him. 21-point victory over Puerto Rico Saturday. USA finishing 3-0 in pool play. They now open the bracket portion of the tournament on Tuesday, their quarterfinal game will be against Brazil, and then semifinals Thursday, and the men's gold medal game will be on Saturday. So next weekend, both the men and the women's USA basketball teams could be and should be playing for a gold medal. And speaking of gold medals, Katie Ledecky won her 14th medal, 9th gold medal in her career, winning the 800-meter freestyle, which she has now won that event the last 4 Olympics. So 16 years ago, she first won gold in that event, and 16 years later still is winning gold. That's pretty impressive. But also what is impressive about her is her 1500 meter, and I forget which stroke, if it's freestyle, probably is. I'm not sure. My bad on that. But the highest, I'm sorry, the best 20 times in history in that event are all Katie Ledecky. So if you look at the record board for the 1500 meter, and again, I can't remember which event, I'm guessing it's freestyle. If you look at it, number 1 through 20 is all Katie Ledecky. That is incredible. So she's got to be up there with certainly Michael Phelps as probably 2 of the best swimmers certainly the U.S. has seen, maybe even the world. Simone Biles continues to rack up gold medals. She won her 7th career gold medal on Saturday, certainly probably solidifying herself as the best gymnast the U.S. has ever seen. And there's been quite a few good ones, but I would say at this juncture, she has probably solidified herself as the GOAT of women's gymnastics. And then also another big event, the 100-meter sprint track and field. U.S. won gold in that. Noah Lyles, I believe, only won by 0.005 of a second. I think that's the closest finish since 1980. If you see the picture of the final, it is incredible. It's not just him and the next best guy. Like, the entire field looks like they finished at almost the same time. It is crazy how close that was. And then also winning gold, Scotty Scheffler won gold in golf. So that's a nice win for him and for U.S. And then women's soccer, they've already got out of group play. They are now in the bracket portion of the tournament. And the U.S. women's soccer, they won their first bracket play game in the quarterfinals, moving on to the semifinals. Very tight, very close game. They won 1-0 over Japan. The lone goal scored by Dennis Rodman's daughter, Trinity Rodman. So if you guys have been keeping tabs on the Attack the Rack YouTube channel, last Thursday night on our daily lineup show, and then again on Saturday morning on the podcast, Big Mo was talking about Trinity Rodman. He's a huge Dennis Rodman fan. And as we were talking about that, we got into talking about all the memorabilia Big Mo has for Dennis Rodman, in the unfortunate situation that happened to him. I think he said it was probably about 13, 14 years ago. Somebody during the day in broad daylight broke into his house and stole 2 of his Dennis Rodman memorabilia items. They were both canvas paintings. So we are trying to get the Attack the Rack fans on the case, trying to solve that theft. And we would love it if we could somehow, 14 years later, get those canvases back from him. If you have any inside info, please email us at the Attack the Rack 3333 at gmail.com with any leads you might have. We want to try to get these back for him. Trinity Rodman having a phenomenal Olympics. The U.S. women continue to, I want to say dominate. They only won 1-0, but definitely they are, again, also a heavy favorite to win gold. So they still got semifinals and then the gold medal game. I'm going to hold off on that until the end here. NFL, first preseason game last Thursday night, the Hall of Fame game. Bears beat the Texans. They only played a little over 2.5 quarters. I think they called the game with about 3 minutes left in the third quarter due to weather. Not an exciting game. No starters played, which is typical now for what we see in preseason games. Lions fans, you got a lot of Lions fans watching the program. You know, we're all Lions fans on the Attack the Wreck YouTube channel so far. They have their first preseason game coming up Friday night against the Atlanta Falcons, 7 p.m. My guess is we're not going to see any of the starters. And then Hard Knocks, Tuesday night, tomorrow night, Hard Knocks, HBO. Always a popular show for NFL fans. This year, Hard Knocks is following around the Chicago Bears, and that should have some pretty good storylines with number 1 draft pick Caleb Williams going through his first training camp. Certainly projected to be the starting quarterback. So that should get pretty interesting. Should be a good Hard Knocks series with the Chicago Bears. Usually that show is phenomenal. In my opinion, it has kind of fallen off the last few years. They don't really get into, they used to literally show guys going in and talking to the GM and when they get cut, which is heart-wrenching, but also does provide some really good entertainment, unfortunately. They really don't show too much of that anymore. I think that's one reason Hard Knocks has fallen off. And then I do think, I've mentioned this before, Hard Knocks really thrives when you have, that one player, that one coach that provides just a ton of entertainment. Guys like Rex Ryan with the New York Jets, phenomenal on that show. Chad Ochocinco was phenomenal when Hard Knocks did the Cincinnati Bengals. So you kind of got to have, that one player coach that's really polarizing, really entertaining, really funny to make that show go above and beyond and make it really, really, really entertaining to watch. So hopefully the Bears got somebody like that. Again, that always just makes it a little bit more fun to watch. And then I got to get to, more of this University of Michigan football stuff. More rumors are swirling. Oh, this is so horrible. This, that, the other thing. They're going to have all these harsh penalties. I'm sure obviously they have evidence, but they still haven't put out any evidence. All we know is they have, Connor Stallions was going to live football games to scout upcoming opponents for University of Michigan. Now, again, that doesn't seem like a big deal to anyone. It's not a big deal to anyone. I believe the NCAA has that rule in place simply because it is a cost on the program to send coaches out, flights, hotels, game tickets, and not all programs can afford that. So in an effort to kind of have a level playing field, that rule is in place. It's a stupid rule. Everyone thinks it's a stupid rule, but it's a rule. And University of Michigan did break that rule. But all these penalties that are rumored to be coming are all ridiculous. Let's not forget the punishment does have to fit the crime. We're hearing things like 15 scholarships taken away. New head coach Sharon Moore suspended for X amount of games. Certain amount of coaches that were on the staff at the time banned for 10 years from coaching NCAA football. $10 million fine, bowl ban, things like that. Again, punishment needs to fit the crime. They broke a rule. Let's look at how important this rule is, how big of a deal this rule is. Most other programs do this as well. We know. Let's just make sure the punishment fits the crime. I personally believe the harsher the penalty, the worse, not Michigan's going to look, the worse the NCAA is going to look, because the rule's a joke. Now, here's the thing. In my opinion, and let's not forget, the college football playoff is separate from the NCAA. So the NCAA has no jurisdiction over the playoff. So they can't ban University of Michigan from the playoffs. Now, the playoff committee could say, we're going to penalize Michigan for what they did. I highly doubt they would do that. Again, looking at the severity of the rule that was broken, my guess is they want the 12 best teams in that playoff. They don't care about a coach, a rogue lower level coach going out and scouting opponents live. Now, if we have some serious thing going on, maybe they would take that into consideration, but ultimately they want that 12 team playoff bracket to be as pure as possible. They're going to want the 12 best teams. And I highly doubt Connor Stallions is going to prevent them from selecting U of M for their playoff system. The bowl bans, who really cares? With even more so now with the playoffs expanding to 12 teams, those bowl games now mean nothing. They're an end of the season, almost an exhibition game, a scrimmage really. All the best players don't even play in those anymore. They mean absolutely nothing. They do nothing for recruiting. If you're going to go into a recruit's living room and tell them, oh, we've made a bowl game the last 10 years, who cares? They want to know, is your program consistently in the playoffs? They don't care about the bowl games. So as long as the playoff committee doesn't penalize University of Michigan football, I really don't think any penalties the NCAA throws down at Michigan really are going to have any effect on the program. Now, scholarships could, certainly, but you got to wonder with the NIL stuff if that can be made up, that tuition fee, that and again, they're talking 15 scholarships. That's a lot, but still your top guys are still going to be getting full rides. So I think they get 80 scholarships. So you still got 65, your top 65 players on your roster still could be getting scholarships. I think that's about it for today. Attack the Rack fans, I appreciate you guys tuning in as always. We do have a birthday shout out. So let's wrap up the show with our birthday shout out. Again, if you want me to shout out somebody, a friend or a family member who has either an upcoming birthday during the week, or maybe they had a birthday last week or the week prior to the show, you can email me at attacktherack3333 at gmail.com, and we will make sure we shout out that birthday. We have yesterday, Sunday, August 4th, Katie Edson with a birthday. Happy birthday, Katie Edson. Her husband, she's the one, actually, I got to give her a shout out. She's the one that started this whole birthday thing by hitting me up a few weeks ago, asking if I can give her husband, Steve, who is a huge supporter of the Attack the Rack YouTube channel, which we cannot appreciate more. Thank you, Steve, for all the support you are giving us and the inside information on the side with some of the topics that we talk about here on the channel. So thank you, Steve, for all that you do. And then also, certainly, thank you, Katie, for getting the birthday shout out program started. And happy birthday to you yesterday. I hope you had an awesome, awesome birthday. You do share a birthday with a few famous people, starting with actor Billy Bob Thornton, longtime actor. He also has his birthday on August 4th. And then one of the greatest pitchers in the history of Major League Baseball, who is not in the Hall of Fame, Roger Clemens. His birthday also was yesterday, August 4th. And then a couple NASCAR guys you share a birthday with, Jeff Gordon and Kurt Busch. So, Katie, happy birthday to you. Hopefully it was an awesome day. and hopefully you can enjoy the rest of your summer, what is left of it. Time to go back to work shortly. Katie is a teacher, and we thank her for her service in educating our youth. I think that is about it, folks. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we come to you live every Monday morning at 7 a.m. And then this does upload as a regular video right afterwards. So you do not have to catch it live. You can catch it anytime you would like. And then tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m., Attack the Rack Daily Lineup Show with myself, Big Mo, and Trent. And then Saturday morning, 9 a.m., the Attack the Rack podcast with Big Mo and myself. And then don't forget, too, fantasy football preview stuff coming up, hopefully by the end of the week. And the NFL Pick Show coming week 1 of the NFL season. Thank you, guys. I hope you have a great Monday. Hope you have a great week. We'll see you next Monday.